Welcome to Base Boxing Basement Triple B. Like and subscribe and donate. You can donate below. It's a community-funded channel because the YT haters. Right, the first fight, I'm reviewing all the fights on the last crescendo Riyadh bill, except the two bum fights preliminaries, which are two alleged Saudi fighters. I mean, who cares, man? They're just there for some Saudi representation. I mean, yeah. So the first fight around 5:30 p.m. UK time was Callum Smith versus Joshua Buatsi. Buatsi was a favourite. You get 2.75 on Callum Smith. Yeah, and I thought that was a good. Those were good odds. I thought it was an even fight. Yeah, Smith is tall. He's rangy. When he's focused, he's a really good fighter. He was a genuine world champion as opposed to some bum like Rocky Fielding pretending to be world champion. Or Liam Smith or some of those other bums, his brother. But Callum was sure, he got found out by Canelo and Beterbiev, but that's okay. These are peak pound-for-pound fighters. And Buatsi, I'd never 100% rated, He gave Dan Aziz a good hiding. This is the same Dan Aziz that Terry Chapandima said was going to beat Beterbiev. He got absolutely schooled by Buatsi and dropped. I'm not going to be that biased, but you're meant to be a boxing expert, and yet you think that Dan Aziz is going to be Artur Beterbiev. You get eaten alive in 5 rounds. It's just pathetic. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was an even fight, and I thought, Callum looked good. He looked focused at the weigh-in. He looked in super shape. He's got long arms. He's tall. I just never really rated Buatsi that heavily, the ex-Olympian. He always seems so grumpy. I don't know. He looks a bit to me like Don Cheadle, that actor, the ugly one. Anyway, so Buatsi is of Ghanaian origin, but he's the grumpiest Ghanaian I've ever known, because Ghanaians are usually real friendly, but yes, they look very nice. But there's a joke. I got reprimanded, by the way, for saying it, but I said it. I was told it by an African guy originally. He goes, "What is the difference between a Nigerian and a Ghanaian man?" Huh? And I was like, "What?" He goes, "The Ghanaian will smile when he is robbing you." Huh? And I said that in the training room. Yeah, and there was a couple of right on like white idiots that say, "Hey, that's really out of order. Yeah, that's racist." I was like, "Oh, shut up!" All the black guys are laughing their ass off. The Africans. Anyway, so Buatsi's the least friendly Ghanaian in the world. But it was a great fight. When it opened, I was like, "Wow, this is a super fight." I had Smith winning by about 8 rounds to 4. And Buatsi showed a tremendous chin throughout the fight. He just didn't have the skills. I mean, he did hurt Callum Smith on a couple of occasions. Maybe Buatsi got hurt himself, though. He just didn't throw enough shots, Buatsi. And that's no criticism on him. He wasn't given the chance to throw a lot of shots because Callum Smith was punching him in the face. And it's a WBO interim light heavyweight title, which means nothing, but whatever. WBO get their sanctioning fee. We all know they're the top dog now. Is the winner of Beterbiev Bivol, which we now know obviously is Bivol. I thought he won the first one anyway. Luckily, they didn't rob him like they robbed poor Carlos Adames. It was an exciting fight. There was some back and forth, but Callum always seemed in charge, except for the couple of, I think twice he kind of got hurt. Buatsi showed, I'll tell you the one thing about Buatsi, he really showed unexpected, a super chin, a really good chin, He was hit with a lot of real decent shots. Callum Smith can punch. He's not devastating, but he can punch, And he did hurt Buatsi, but Buatsi never looked like going down. He took a lot of good shots. He dug in deep. It's funny, right? I'm looking at the Sun, the Sun magazine. The clothes you plan. It's pathetic how much they influence everything, right? First of all, they say Ghanaian-born Buatsi, right? Buatsi is of Ghanaian origin. Obviously, he's African, black, and born there, right? Right. So they even state that in the Sun article. He's Ghanaian-born. Okay? And according to all the lefties, oh, it's where you're born that counts. Like as if that makes any difference. That makes me Spanish. I was born in Spain because my parents were passing through, and that makes me Spanish. What a ridiculous question. And you remember when that Somalian murdered those poor young girls, all the lefties were, we told you he's not actually a refugee. Yeah, he's not African. He's Welsh. And it's some wild-haired Somalian. Oh, he's born in Wales, so he's Welsh. Yeah, right. Dafydd Llewellyn from Somalia. Wales. What a nonsense. And later on in the Sun argument, they say the two Englishmen stood head-to-head. What did he tell earlier? He told me he was Ghanaian and born in Ghana. It's ridiculous. Anyway, back to boxing. It's a boxing channel. So Liam got a cut. And they controlled it very well. I hate it when cuts finish fights. You just lose some of the drama. I don't like to see cuts, to be honest. Like the Vitaly Klitschko, Lennox Lewis fight. And Klitschko seemed to be getting his second wind and a chance of getting on top. It was rightfully stopped. His face was torn apart, but I just don't like to see it. Vitaly the pimp lose to Lennox. If you're wondering why I'm calling him pimp, because he is a pimp. He owns loads of strip clubs and hoe houses in Kiev, or Kyiv as we're told to call it now. Kyiv. It's called Kyiv because that's the Ukrainian pronunciation. Kyiv. Fuck off. I call it Kiev, blood. Yeah? I call it what I want, man. No one goes Paris, do they? Paris. It's Paris. It's Amsterdam. Yeah? These lefties and normies just they just repeat what they're told. They don't even have any logic to their thought. But yeah, a great performance by Callum Smith. He's reignited his career. He is 34, but Buatsi's no spring chicken at 31. Nor is the Triple B a spring chicken. But it was an impressive win, a clear win as far as I'm concerned for Callum Smith. Buatsi can come back. I've never truly rated him as world class. That's the truth. And Callum Smith is world class, but he's not elite world class, but he is world class. And he did a great job, and I'd had a lot of people say, oh, he's a bum, Smith. Buatsi will take it to him. I was like, nah, man, I've got Callum Smith as the favourite, and I got him on points, and I was right. And I bet on it, and I won. Great performance by Callum Smith. Where did you go now? Well, he's not going to beat Bivol, is he? Obviously, like the payday. I'd take the payday against Bivol and let him outbox me and slap me up. It's all about the money in the end. But Smith can say he's a world champion. He's got to be realistic. Well, I'm very unlikely I'll beat Bivol. I'll have a go. And at least it's not as scary as fighting Beterbiev, because Beterbiev, is going to hurt you, even if he hits you on the arms. But Bivol, is going to just outbox you. And he might hurt you, but he won't step up to knock you out. So, I don't know. Will Callum Smith get a shot at the title? Maybe, maybe. It's not a bad win. I don't know how much there is at light heavyweight at the moment. If you look at the light heavyweight division, what fighters are there apart from Bivol, Beterbiev? And Beterbiev should have 2 wins against... Bivol should have 2 wins against Beterbiev anyway. But if we look at the light heavyweight division in the world, what have we got there? Let's have a look. Give me a second while I check it out on BoxRec. As I said, BoxRec's flawed. It doesn't list WBA world title fights, which is just ridiculous. I don't know why. I don't know what kind of pathetic beef they've got. Right, which is why they don't list Callum Smith as a world title champion, but they do a world champion. Sorry, as WBA world champion, but they do list him as an interim title. Imagine thinking the interim. Imagine saying, "Oh, we're not going to recognise WBA, but we'll recognise the WBO interim title." Anyway, so we got Bivol, obviously, David Benavidez, who beat Morrell, is got to be the top contender there. Apart from that, there's not a lot. There's not a lot. BoxRec, which are not perfect in their rankings, even have Anthony Yard at number 9 and Zach Parker at number 10. There isn't much there. There's basically Bivol, Benavidez, and Beterbiev, although he's just lost. And Callum Smith, David Morrell's just lost, Buatsi's just lost. There's not a lot there, really. There's not a lot there, so Callum Smith can definitely get a shot at the title and get some cash money for retirement.